Oh man, it is so nice to have some positive news, positive information, and getting this offseason started. Now, we know that the Eagles do not have both of their coordinators hired yet, but the Eagles are starting to make room, make moves to this roster, are going to make room, moves for this roster in general, and pretty happy about it. So there's some coaching rumors, players re-signing rumors, and other stuff like that. So let's get straight into all of the Eagles news.
Any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shake17 coming, guys, with a video right now. So the first thing I want to go over, which I think is really important, and every Eagles fan is going to be so happy about this, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. It looks like the Eagles, and this is... right now, it's not official yet, but going in the direction that the Philadelphia Eagles, that front office, they want to franchise tag Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And I'm telling you, not only does he bring the swag, not only does he bring the play, but I got to say, guys, he is the embodiment of Philadelphia. Him and what he does in his play and his attitude is what represents Philadelphia. I mean, look at the end of the Super Bowl. I think is a big example. Even if some of these players knew we were kind of going to lose this game right at the end, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson still playing at 100%, hits Pacheco and literally knocks him on the ground, like that thump tackle that he had on him. I love that. He got fined for it, but I absolutely loved it. So he just has a no-quit mentality, and he did say at some of the Super Bowl interviews that he had that he really wanted to stay here. He didn't care about, he doesn't care about the money at the time because all he wanted to do is win a championship, but he loves it here. He's got a vibe going with a lot of the guys, and guys, this is great news. I mean, we talked about the Jalen Hurts extension. Take that out of proportion with what we're talking about here, and you're looking at this is the main signing we kind of wanted. And I think this is the perfect re-sign, or at least if you're going to use the franchise tag. I don't even remember the last time the Eagles used a franchise tag. I don't even remember. But plays nickel, plays safety. Even Sean Payton talked about that trade that Howie made for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and it was one of the worst trades he has ever seen by the Saints. And I think it was a fourth and a sixth, a fourth and the seventh, whatever it was. It was a total steal when we got him. Now, he didn't flash so much when he first got here, and then as the weeks went on, he got better and better. He tied up for interceptions in the entire year in 2022, which is great. So that's all I can really ask for. Because look, just think about it like this. If Marcus Epps walks into free agency, Reed Blankenship's going to compete, came in when Chauncey got hurt, and then it's going to compete this offseason. Bring in another safety, who knows? This is your Malcolm Jenkins piece. This is the guy that's going to move around the field, and you can really afford to move some pieces around. So that's a really good thing. That's what you get out of him. Reminds me of Malcolm Jenkins in a lot of ways, where you can move him around and put him on certain matchups, which I really do like. And I hope you guys are happy, because this is what we kind of been waiting for. Is there anything on who are they keeping on this roster besides Jalen Hurts? Chauncey was the first name that we all wanted, most of us at least wanted, and it looks like it's happening. It's not official yet, but it's getting there, and I'm pretty excited about it for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Franchise tag, which means this is a good thing, guys. Even if it's a franchise tag, franchise tag a player, or any team that franchise tags a player, is because they want to work on a long-term extension. So if they franchise tag him, he gets fully guaranteed money this year, whatever the market is for safeties in their first franchise. I don't know what the number is for the franchise tag until we know. I could probably look it up. I don't know how, unless the numbers change every year. I'm not really sure. But a long-term extension hopefully works. He's 24 years old. 24. And you got so much to work with here. I think Chauncey will be an Eagle for the rest of his career. I mean, no joke. I think he will. I think he'll play in this city until he retires. That's how much faith I have in him and what he could do. So, very excited for Chauncey, to be back next year. It's not official yet, but it's heading in that direction right now. So I'm very happy about it. Now, interesting enough, the Eagles are going outside of the organization. They're getting some interviews here, and the one interview that they had, was Jim Leonard, the defensive coordinator from Wisconsin. Now, I'm going to be a total noob and read some stuff because I don't follow Wisconsin. I don't even follow this coach. I have no idea what I'm even looking at when it comes to this guy. From what I'm seeing from Eagles fans, they're really liking this guy to become the next defensive coordinator. Okay, now, apparently, he was supposed to be the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin for this year, and apparently the Wisconsin front office went to another direction. They hired some guy from Cincinnati. Wisconsin fans were kind of really surprised. So Jim Leonard kind of walked away from the game, walked away from it and wanted to think about what he wanted to do. So the Eagles must have gave him a call. And guys, I don't even really care because as long as the Eagles do the due diligence on I just don't want them to settle for any coach. Okay? I'd rather have this process take longer than expected, but you can't wait too long. You got the free agency and the draft, and you need collaboration with your coordinators on what they want in their defense and what they want in this offense. And obviously, Howie Roseman has final say in anything that happens. Now, these are the statistics for Jim Leonard's defense for Wisconsin. Now, it says Leonard's 5 seasons as defensive coordinator, ranked among the nation's top 5 in total defense and top 10 in scoring defense 4 times. During that time, the Badgers ranked 3rd in scoring defense, 17.3 points per game, 1st in total yards allowed, 284.8 yards per game, 1st in pass efficiency defense, 110.5, 3rd in rushing defense, 103.4 yards per game, and 1st in opponents' 3rd down conversions, 30.5%. Wisconsin has forced 112 turnovers over that span, tied for 4th amongst Power 5 conference teams. That's amazing. I mean, that's absolutely amazing what he's done with that defense. So, TJ Edwards, played for this guy, so he was coached up by this guy, and TJ Edwards had some good seasons under him. So, interesting enough, there's even tweets coming out about this guy and kind of relating him to Gannon. Like even Jeff Kerr was tweeting some stuff out from CBS, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like this is the exact opposite of this defense from Leonard's to Gannon's. It's night and day." He says more blitzing, more aggression works if the secondary is elite and the pass rush gets home. And let me tell you something. I wish we had this guy this past year. I wish we had him this past year. So all I'm hearing is really good things. Maybe the Eagles don't have much interest in some of these coaches that are still available in the NFL, because sooner or later these guys get older. These guys might not get better. It's a gamble if these coaches get better, get worse. It just depends. And obviously some coaches, it takes a lot of time for them to get better at their job. Sometimes it doesn't. So the Eagles are really reaching out there. I don't want them to hire somebody because of their I don't want them to have an emotional hire where they like the guy's personality. Like obviously he's got to be a good coach and a player's coach. I get it. But at the other flip of the coin is like, it's more business. Like we're looking for this is a job, and somebody's got to do the right thing by this defense. Okay, whatever Howie Roseman does with this defense, obviously 9 free agents, whatever it is. Okay, because at the end of the day, the Eagles are going to be restructuring some veterans. They're going to be making some room. It's going to happen. We're just waiting for it. A lot of Eagles fans are talking about him now. This guy, John Leonard. Jim Leonard, sorry. Jim Leonard actually played safety for 10 years as well in the NFL, So, it's not like he's a defensive coordinator that's never played a snap in the NFL. He's played 10 seasons now. How much of 10 seasons, how many games he started, I have no idea. But at least he knows the game of football, and that's all that matters, and the statistics show. I understand that college is different than the NFL. I understand that what he did at Wisconsin is not going to transform the same statistics going into the NFL, but the Eagles might want some change at defensive coordinator. They might want to hire a brand new guy out of college that has really done good with defenses. And from what I hear and from Eagles fans, and trust me, if you guys have any more information on Jim Leonard, you guys let me know, because I think it's really important to find out as much information on him as possible. Statistics wise, that's just amazing what he's done with defenses. So, I think we need some, I wasn't really on board with getting a guy I didn't want to get a first-year guy. There's some Eagles fans wanting Denard Wilson to get promoted. I'm not even in the mood for that. Maybe he'll bring something different to the table, but I just want somebody that's going to do a little bit more. I'm not saying that I want to blitz on every single play because, look, the teams in the NFL this past year, besides the Giants that were one of the most high blitzing teams, were not in the playoffs, besides the Giants. I think the Ravens were I think the Ravens were a top 3 team in blitzing, and they weren't even in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying blitzing is everything, but common sense, how to use your players, and I just want someone that's not going to be afraid to, hit some of these quarterbacks or be too cautious in games or, not get enough feedback, but, Gannon just really choked in that second half, and he really had no excuse for it. He gets hired. He has an interview with Peter King, and it's just like he's just giving excuses on why he wasn't prepared. I think half the reason why Gannon didn't come back was because he knew that he was going to have a lot of pressure on him, and maybe if he does bad with the Eagles for his last year, he wasn't going to have the opportunity to be a head coach again. He thought this was the best opportunity to be a head coach. Don't matter how much the Eagles were giving him money-wise, because the Eagles were supposed to they were giving him more than head coaching money. That's how much they wanted him to stay. They literally increased his pay to a head coach pay to let him stay, and he denied it, and he went to Arizona. Because it's not easy for coaches to play in Philadelphia. It's not. When you start messing up and screwing up these games, you're going to feel the heat. And I can't say that they didn't feel the heat. They definitely did, and they act like they don't, but they're feeling it from the fans when it comes time. So, Jim Leonard, Eagles fans are saying great things. And you know what? Do I take a chance on this over Denard Wilson? Do I take a chance in this over Vance Joseph? Maybe. And this is all business, and there's no emotions in it, and it's just not an emotion hiring. Like, this is strictly like, come here and make this defense. I want someone to get here and make this defense as aggressive as possible. You have 2 first-round picks and a second-rounder this year. Like, you got some good things going on, and if this guy can come right in, it's going to be amazing. So we'll see, but I think this is one of the most exciting things. I think it's the most important thing of this video because we've been looking for a defensive coordinator, and Jim Leonard seems to, be a guy that they have serious interest in, and we'll see what happens. But they weren't really done with that. We actually have the scheduled Vance Joseph interview. Now, this is going to be on computer. He's not visiting the facility or anything. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like when these guys don't visit, it's not like important for some weird reason. I don't know why. Maybe he's busy on that day. Maybe he's on vacation. I don't know. Whatever's going on. Vance Joseph is definitely one of the top coaching prospects for defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. But we'll have, I think it's Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday. So the first day this week, I think it's Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday. He's doing a call with Howie Roseman, and I think he's doing a call with I think Lurie and Roseman, and I think Sirianni and the rest of the staff. I think that's how it's really going. Two separate days. They're doing 2 press conferences with Vance Joseph for 2 days this week. And we'll see how that goes. You know what I mean? Vance Joseph is is really starting to turn into my second option. The more I read about this Jim Leonard from Wisconsin, the more I actually really like it. Would they actually go out and get some fresh meat from college and bring him to the NFL and just let him just do what he wants with his defense? I don't mind it. I honestly would you have to sacrifice in this league, guys. You have to do it. But the Eagles are taking their time. Some teams aren't taking their time. Some teams are not taking their time. Some teams are rushing to get stuff done because they just want to start getting stuff done for the draft and free agency and all this stuff that's going on. But the Eagles are really taking their time, and I got to respect it. I can't tell them to hurry up. I don't mind them taking their time. Guys, we things are going to come up quick. Free agency comes fast. The draft comes quick. Rookie minicamp and then OTAs and training camp. It's all going to come really fast. Pause. But I really like how they're just taking their time. They want to pick the right guy. They want to pick the right guy, and that's all that matters. So let me know what you guys think about Vance Joseph. And obviously, we talked about Jim Leonard before, and I'm starting to get on board a little bit, just a little bit. I took the first step up the stairs. I'm liking the idea. I'm not fully upstairs yet, but I'm getting there. So I think that's really interesting. And other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's really it. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, rumored to get franchise tagged and work on that long-term extension throughout next season, which I'm very happy about. And honestly, defensive coordinator. We already know Brian Johnson's getting the OC job. I think it's obvious with him. But DC is where it's really important, because I have more faith in this offense next year than this defense, because, you know, now they really have to get the right coach in here, and they really can't fumble this one. And I want to know what you guys think about both of these coordinators, of Vance Joseph, Jim Leonard from Wisconsin. What do you guys think about him? Do you have any extra information on him? Like I said, I'm a total noob when it comes to college stuff. So the coaching staff and who changes, I don't know any of that. None of it. Okay, that's just the truth to it all. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. You guys have a fantastic day. More Eagles news in the coming days. If you guys lasted this long during this video, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video as well, because we are doing this every single day, and it will not stop until next season. So guys, have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys later. SHAKESQUAD, follow us a lot. Peace out, guys. Peace.